What's going on? This is another installment of Who Asked Deviant Day, because who asked me to show you all of these very imperfect things that go on in this world. But I'm just gonna hop right into it. You know how it goes. Find five good, crazy articles that I always stumble upon on, and you'd let me know in the comment section how out of this world this stuff is, because make it make sense to me. That's all I got to say. Anywho, let's begin with this. Yeah, you're seeing that on the screen, right? That is a bottle of NyQuil. What does NyQuil have to do with anything today, Mr. Deviant Dave? Well, let me tell you. Kids, if you got one, been around them, or if you're just a teacher that has to really deal with all kinds of mess from them, this article is for you. So, don't cook chicken in NyQuil, FDA warns after TikTok challenge. Yes, you heard correctly. Children today are freaking boiling NyQuil with chicken in it. Yes, can't make this up. There is a challenge. I repeat, children are boiling chicken with NyQuil. Can't make this up. The devil reigns crazy in these lands and social medias these days, because who would think of something crazy such as this? Let me read for you. Cooking chicken and cough medicine NyQuil is not only silly, right, and unappetizing. Maybe some people like it, but can also be very unsafe, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration said following the Sleepy Chicken TikTok challenge. What in the bored rich kid reality thought this one up and decided to share it and kill more waves of very stupid children? Yeah. Um yeah. A number of videos challenge people to cook chicken in NyQuil, which contains acetaminophen and other various drugs that is a no-no when cooked, or another similar over-the-counter cough and cold medication, according to FDA. Boiling medicine can make it much more concentrated and change its properties in other ways, the FDA said. Even if you don't eat the chicken, inhaling the medication's vapors while cooking could cause high levels of drugs to enter your body. It could also hurt your lungs. Not the first time FDA has warned against social media challenges. Definitely, because if you go to FussAid, look into my history of a wild challenges that I decided to um write about. Yeah, I think each challenge kind of tops itself each time it comes out. That's just my opinion. Um, Parents want to watch what your kids or monitor what are they watching on YouTube. We gotta look, especially people around my age. We gotta stop acting like the world has our best interests. Because come on, man, I made a whole YouTube show based on the polar opposite of what it just said. The world is getting crazier. They're allowing things to not only hurt us, hurt our health, mental stability, and stuff. And I'm just seeing things all the time that's just like, A, why did this go out? And B, I mean, not only is it not okay, but they're trying to make it seem like it's okay. So, like, man, people my age and young, come on, man. Just use your common sense. Parents, monitor your kids, because shit is wild today. Protect the youth. Moving forward, let's talk about something that YouTube channels and social media are afraid of talking about. That's vaccinations. Yes, vaccinations. Well, Deviant Dave, what about vaccinations are we going to talk about today? And will it affect your impending future on being very irrelevant? Because you keep talking about things that's going to piss people off. Well, I'm just trying to talk about the truth. Truth will set you free, but it will scare you. Like this one, if it's really true. So, this article, move to the top, says scientists tricked mosquitoes into delivering vaccines to humans. They tricked mosquitoes to delivering vaccines to humans. Scientists have managed to turn one of the deadliest insects into a vaccine delivery system. According to new reports from NPR, a clinical trial for a system meant to use mosquitoes to deliver vaccines has been underway in the United Kingdom. The findings of the trial have been established. What in the futuristic FUCK is this? According to the paper, scientists were able to genetically modify parasites to deliver malaria vaccines through mosquito bites. It's also an intriguing proposition to use mosquitoes to deliver vaccines. It sounds horrific on paper and even more horrific when you see the photos featured in a report on the trial from NPR. Yeah, I do remember 10 years back. I mean, I look at it, but I am an older dude. When in high school, we had a whole malaria scare because the wave of mosquitoes at that time somehow carried traces of malaria. And since mosquitoes are basically nature's biological syringe, they carried it, and once they bite you, they inject that with their saliva and other nastiness inside you, and you got malaria. Now, I do recall that they did have a project where they genetically engineered mosquitoes to have the malaria vaccine, which was basically a huge Uno reverse card. And all of a sudden, everything was saved. The world was good because just like that, they engineered mosquitoes to have the vaccine. Ain't that questionable? This is kind of scary. Also, doesn't this like kind of violates people's rights? Not to be a stiff or anything like that, but for those people that don't want to take the vaccine and everything like that, basically are getting the vaccine. And scientists, wherever they came from, have openly admitted to giving you a vaccination without your permission or without you knowing it. And it kind of is a little scary. So my thing is this is that why even have a whole vaccine episode if you were just going to put them in mosquitoes and have them bite us that way in a stealth fashion without us even knowing? What's the point? Fear, maybe? I don't know. But I feel like my rights are violated. Then they just want to write it off like they're saving the world like Marvel heroes. Get out of here. Wake up, people. Wake up. Because people are doing all kinds of stuff without our permission, telling us in plain sight, mocking us, and we're just acting like, oh, well, it'll just work itself out. Man, if we don't grow up, I'm just saying. As an anime dude and a guy that watched a lot of movies because, he didn't really have many friends, people talk to at home, girlfriends, etc. Yeah, those pre-predictive shows and stuff is kind of looking kind of real now. But let me not scare you and your children. Man, sorry, I got mad indigestion right now. Comes with being a little old. But anyway, moving forward. Let's talk about limbs. Not just any limbs. Limbs from a different kind of scum. This story that I'm about to give you guys, I read it and I was just like, WTF. There's no real right or wrong answer. I don't really think in this one. I don't even know what to think, but I just want to share with you guys. So, there's a guy that's angry but wants to exert his rights despite being a nasty, disgusting, creepy bastard. So, stumbled upon this article in Glasgow Live. Says sex offender who lost limbs in train horror crashes Glasgow shop with prosthetic arm. Okay. When I read this, it gets stranger. It says, I don't know, this website's weird. As a web developer, man, some of you blogs need to just kind of like remove all this bullshit, especially if you want your content read. I think sometimes people want us to tell us the madness in plain sight, but don't want to give us the details, and this is her way of doing it. But that's a whole nother story. A man who lost his limbs in a train crash has admitted being aggressive to women and children. Thomas Proudfoot. Wow, you got a sex offender named Thomas Proudfoot. Sounds made up. Used one of his prosthetic limbs to smash glass bottles when he lashed out at a day-to-day convenience store in Ennisland. Quadrupled amputee shouted, swore, uttered threats, and behaved aggressively in the store. Okay. So you're a sex offender. And quadruple amputee means that you got no arms and legs. And you're causing terroristic acts. Very smart individual. Yeah. Proudfoot was locked up for 7 years in 2014 after being convicted of sexually assaulting a 17-year-old girl near his former home in Clydebank. What a piece of shit. He subjected her to a terrifying ordeal during which he kicked her on the head and body and launched a horrific sexual attack. He also exposed himself and made sexual demands of his terrified victim during the onslaught. Disgusting. Proudfoot had earlier used his metal arm to break a man's jaw before attacking a police officer. What? And you let this villain on the streets? The now 25. How old was he? Okay, so if he did 7 years, 25, then he was 19. No, 18. Okay. The now 25-year-old lost his limbs in 2012 after he was struck by a train in Bearsden. His injuries were so severe and life-threatening, he was left with prosthetic limbs, including the false arm and metal claw. Wait a minute. He was struck by a train in Bearsden? Okay, people don't just get hit by trains. It's not like a common thing. I mean, it sounds like this is just everyday anomaly that people do this. Like, unless you were walking on the train tracks, someone kidnapped you and put you on the train tracks like one of them old school cartoons. It derailed while running, or like Superman or the Hulk decided to use it as a freaking football to launch it at you. This dude tried to kill himself. All right, come on. You don't you don't just get struck by a train. Come on. Unless he's deaf and blind and can't. Come on. That man tried to kill himself. Anyway, Proudfoot, which is ridiculous to say, pled guilty last month to behaving in a threatening or abusive manner at the day-to-day store. He also admitted an identical earlier offense at the store from March. So you're telling me that you got a sex offender, no arms, no legs, suicidal, angry at the world, wasn't even incarcerated for using his metal limbs to hurt civilians and attack police officers? Do they just want him in the world just to suffer and continue doing his misdeeds, or what? Like, end his life. He clearly doesn't want to live in this world anymore. Anywho, yeah, you know what? There's nothing more to read. I just thought that was just I don't want to use the word interesting, but how often do you hear something like this? What kills me is that people that have piece of shit history trying to demand the world something for them. Like, that's not the way to go, man. Plus, you're a nasty piece of shit. Anywho, that was a good little rant spree. Right now, we're going to take a little break and then we're going to get back to my final two, the best that I usually save for last from what I find. So, enjoy, and we'll be right back. And we are back again. So, save the best two for last, of course. Just gonna hop right back into it. So, yeah, I know what that is on the screen. Why do I have that on my screen? Because this story is even wilder. And if you thought the last one was something, this one, yeah. So what you're looking at are I hate to say it out loud, but I guess I gotta say it. That is, you know what? I'm just gonna read the article and then you'll know. There's no way of justifying what I'm about to say, but this story is nuts. Anywho, let me bring that up for you. Back to the top. This chess grandmaster accused of using sex toy to cheat win against world's top player. WTF. This is St. Louis too. Chess prodigy Hans Niemann, 19, fiercely rejects the accusation that he cheated in his win over Carlsen on September 4th at a tournament at the St. Louis Chess Club. Before his loss to Niemann, Carlsen, 31, boasted an impressive 53-game winning streak. Damn. Carlsen's loss reportedly occurred during the final leg of America's longest running chess tournament that features a 350K total prize pool. That's nice. Man, let me be a chess player. Carlsen is a 5-time chess grand champion and was made famous for being a chess phenom since the age of 13. Ooh, a prodigy. Bet he gets all the ladies. According to the Riverfront Times, which adds that a documentary film centered on him titled Magnus helped the chess player's fame spread from just a typical chess enthusiast audience. All right, cool. All right, I get it. First off, there's a lot of red flags from the first sentence that I even read. Okay, first off, vibrating anal beads. That's what you use to cheat, of all things. They got okay, artificial intelligence. Like, what does it do? It communicate. Is the beads a link to your brain through your spine, and artificial intelligence is communicating with you? How does that even work? This is the speeds, the vibrations. Like what? How? How do you make your own language from anal beads? Okay, another red flag. The dude's name is Magnus Carlsen. I don't know whether to make fun of it or be impressed. I guess as a chess champion, Magnus is is a very, apex name. Then the dude is 19 years old. Kids, look, stop being freaky too young, man. Man, these kids, youngins, just chill out, man. Just chill out on the freakiness. I get it. You're young, you know, can't control yourself, urges and shit, but dog, you keep upping the bar with sexual expectations, you're gonna get to a point where you're like my age or older, and you're gonna have like wild, wild means to get yourself off. Wild. Don't be like that. Chill out, kids. Anyway, there's a lot of questions on this, but let me keep reading. Neiman was accused of cheating almost immediately after his win. The detractors believe that an accomplice was using artificial intelligence to determine what moves Neiman should make and then sending signals to a vibrating set of anal beads, which Neiman is accused of having inside him to communicate those perfect moves, according to the Daily Mail. First off, how, you lost the match, and then you go, he's got anal beads. That's how you respond to your L. Already sounds questionable. How do you know anything is inside of anybody? Are you his lover? Are you a close friend, roommate, or something like that? How do you know these things? Do you have the technology to brain or to scan a person's body to know that there are anal beads in there of such technology never seen before? Because apparently they can use Wi-Fi signals and anal beads to communicate. Come on, man. I don't know what to say about this story. In such a peculiar, if not just bizarrely vulgar accusation that has escaped the usual chess enthusiast circle to become a widespread internet rumor and meme. I bet people are laughing their ass off about it. Cause look, is that the two right there? Weird looking bastards. Among the 10 chess players who were participating in the tournament that day, Neiman was reportedly the lowest rated and was least likely to win against Carlsen. I don't know what to say about this. It's just a lot of questions. First side of if it's not true, that is a wild accusation to throw at a person and among thousands of people. If it's not true, that dude was on his spread and did not want to hand over the crown. If it's not true and you lost, why would that be the first thing you thought of to accuse somebody with? On the other hand, if it is true, dude, why would you want to keep anal beads inside you for a whole chess tournament? I can imagine how long that shit is. Then I don't even want to talk about the kind of training you had to do to not only do that, but to make your own language to communicate through anal beads. I don't know what to believe in this story. I don't know why I find a lot of weird articles that pertain to chess. This is one of the craziest things I've ever heard. No comment. I don't even want to ask if you enjoyed that story. I just thought it was wild. I got nothing more to say to that. What is going on in 2022? Let's keep it moving. So this next part, my final part, has to do with this state. You know what this state is? Should know. At least I do. It is my home state, and there is something that is concerning me starting in January. There is a certain law that's going to be passed, and I don't think, well, there are a lot of people talking about it, and there are people in politics that do discuss it, but at least from what I've seen or this is just my speculation, but I don't think a lot of people that are local to the state are concerned about the possibilities of what I'm about to address because some crazy shit's gonna happen. If people are gonna be ignorant about it, I think it's about time we start really, really trying to do something on bettering ourselves, point of accountability. People my age, I feel like sometimes we just need to stop acting like things is gonna work itself out. Because this to me is very alarming. Again, people, maybe I just got a wild imagination of what violence and craziness can do, but I'm also a realist. What are you talking about, Deviant Dave? Whoa, viewer. There is an act that's going to take an effect starting January called the Safety Act. And it's not really that safe. I think when they named it that, that was to mock us and to you know how you try to pass something crazy but give it a very nice wrapping to it. By wrapping I mean, like, give it a nice face. Anywho, um there's a lot more current articles concerning this. Right now there are what do you call, like, those political hearings where people in our politics in the state, they are debating, expressing concerns about the act. But I think it's gonna be one of those things where it's like people are gonna go back and forth about it. It's still gonna be in effect. It's October. January is not that far. So yeah, let's get into it. This one is fact check, separating the truth from fiction in the debate over Illinois Safety Act. State Journal Register. There are multiple hot button issues this election season, but perhaps none has made as many recent headlines as the Safety Act and its no cash bail provision. Passed by the Illinois General Assembly and signed into law last year by Governor, is a major criminal justice reform bill that orders all police departments to have body cameras by 2025 and updates police use of force guidelines, among other requirements. Much of the bill went into effect on July 2021, but the end of cash bail going into effect January 1st, 2023 has not. While more than 100 days until the start of next year, the provision has become a rallying cry for Republicans on the campaign trail and the online forums. Yes, because um a lot of people out of the state are looking at us like, are y'all fucking crazy? Yes. So let me highlight on the possibilities. And this is just a general watered down reflection on what are the possibilities. What are the non-detainable offenses in the bill? A graphic attributed to a news organization has been well circulated on social media, listing 11 offenses that will be non-detainable due to the end of cash bail. Non-detainable meaning police can't put their hands on them. Okay? Claim the following are offenses. Online-based outlets covering the Southern Illinois since 2017 claims. And these are the non-detainable offenses that they claim: aggravated battery, aggravated DUI, aggravated fleeing, arson, burglary, drug-induced homicide, intimidation, kidnapping, robbery, second-degree murder, threatening a public official. As for the language of the bill, describes several of these charges as a forcible felony offense where a judge could withhold pre-trial release. Under state criminal code, those offenses include treason, first-degree murder, second-degree murder, predatory criminal sexual assault of a child, aggravated criminal sexual assault, robbery, burglary, residential burglary, aggravated arson, aggravated kidnapping, aggravated battery resulting in a great bodily harm or permanent disability or disfigurement, and any other felony which involves the use or threat of physical violence against any individual. Yes. And that was very scary to read. meaning that those people are deemed undetainable. You got kidnapping kids as a okay, basically. People of Illinois, if what I read did not scare you, please find it in your heart to find your common sense and realize that shit is about to get wild starting January. I'm calling it. What episode is this? I forgot. But in this episode, calling it. Stuff is gonna get wild. I don't know about calling it the Purge Act, but I definitely will call it the We Don't Give a Fuck Act. Might as well just call it the WTF Act. Because this is like an act for basically turning a blind eye. Turning the blind eye act, that's what they should call it. Because this is wild. Okay. If the defendant charged with a non-probational forced felony offense poses a specific, real, and present threat to any person or the community, a judge could order the individual to remain behind bars. However, for cases eligible for probation, such as aggravated battery, burglary, second-degree murder, and more, this standard would not apply. Meaning, ninjas that can kick down your door will just be ticketed, let go, and continue kicking down doors. From what it sounds like, they kind of want people to not only handle it themselves, but you just want people to go at each other. The governor's office responded to claims earlier this week, specifying that non-detainable offenses do not exist. However, there are some exceptions. In addition to the real and present threat standard, the willful fight provision is included in the bill to address those who have been made official plans to evade prosecutions. Opponents to this standard say it is challenging to prove an individual's flee attempts unless explicitly expressed. This standard also would not apply to Class 4 felonies, meaning those accused of aggravated DUI and driving on a revoked license will not face pretrial detention. So, my license is out. I can still keep driving. That's what you're telling me. Okay. Cool. Is this the Purge Law? I'm taking the name from the dystopian film series which legalizes all crime on a temporary basis. Videos on TikTok have garnered thousands of views by calling the bill a Purge Law. One such clip shows blah blah blah. Let's get to the real thing. Okay, in fact, the bill's only explicit mention of trespassing refers to the trespass of vehicles, but still applies due to the degree of crime. Misdemeanor charge for criminal trespassing can lead up to 6 months in jail or $1,500 fine. That's it? Being a Class B misdemeanor says law enforcement should not issue a citation in lieu of custodial arrest, but only if the suspect is again not deemed by a judge as a threat to the community or if they have any medical or mental health issues that pose a risk to their own safety. If a suspect qualifies for pretrial release, they are scheduled to return to court within 21 days. So, and I think I might have skipped it. Basically means, it says right here, the Republican made several claims regarding the bill, including preventing law enforcement from removing trespassers from a residence or place of business. Heard this. Basically says is this: if you got a squatter, let's say, you own properties or you own your own business, you kind of on and off the grid a little bit. You go into your property or something like that, and you see some squatters living there. You can't call the police and have them removed because the police won't do that because of this bill. If issue them a citation or something, but pretty much the police can't remove trespassers from your place of business or home. How crazy is that? What's the whole point of police then? So you know what this means, right? That if you have squatters in there and you got people that are, in your territory, you gotta handle it like a freaking monster. You gotta handle it yourself with your own hands, because police ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah, I hope you guys got some guns, because yeah, Okay, per legislation, electronic monitoring should only be used if no less restrictive condition exists for a pretrial release. All right. Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act. He said in a video from Orland Park Village board meeting early this month, they could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them. So you're telling me that, let's say you have a suspect, not only can you not monitor them immediately, but you have to wait 45 hours. Does that make sense to you? So they're basically purposely making law enforcement not handle things immediately because I guess they're going to have better things to do, literally, by law. So basically, someone can do something and they won't be caught as easily. Not that, most cases were. Maybe this is their response to not solving many cases. Since they're not going to be solved, just let it go. Ridiculous. Will this lead to an emptying of prisons? Oh, among concerns about the provision among Republicans and some state attorneys is their claim of prison walkouts. Recently, Madison County State Attorney Thomas Haynes said in a letter to the governor that roughly half of his county's jail population will be released on New Year's Day because of the Safety Act. Let me reflect on that for a second. Half these people have been doing aggravated battery, DUI, fleeing, arson, burglary, drug-induced homicide, intimidation, kidnapping, robbery, second-degree murder, threatening a public official. These people are going to be released on New Year's Day. Happy New Year to you, people. Please, if anybody in the state of Illinois is watching this, please be concerned. Hide your kids, hide your wife, get your gun. I don't know, form a clan. I don't know, something to protect yourself and cover your ass because shit is going to be crazy literally the first day of next year. Please heed my warning. While those already sentenced will not be affected by the end of cash bail, research indicates there will be a significant reduction to jails statewide. So what is this their answer to overcrowding? Oh, wow. Hold on. Significant portion, 89% of the state's 2020 to 2021 prison population, totaling 172,114 of the 193,387 prisoners behind bars were being held pre-trial, spending an average of 34 days in prison, according to a study from Loyola University of the Chicago Center for Criminal Justice Research. Collectively, the number is expected to drop between 44,000 and 70,000 eligible for pretrial containment once the Pretrial Fairness Act kicks in starting 2023. Wow. They have a Pretrial Fairness Act now? Wow. I don't know what to say about this. I just know that it says that this was a continuation of what he told reporters in Springfield, where he believes this issue will become statewide under the end of cash bail. There and throughout the campaign, he called for repeal of the Safety Act. However, he has not offered alternatives. See, that's what I mean. They're gonna go back and forth. Nothing's gonna happen. Stuff's gonna stay in place. Course of action. What's gonna happen? Don't have a follow-up for it. So you don't want this to happen, but don't have a solution. I'm just saying because this is going to affect the home state. I got family and things like that out in Illinois. And I'm not trying to talk shit, but I don't want people to treat this like this. You can just sneeze at this. Um, for the homies that were in the good heart of things, and this could benefit for good for you, but in other cases, you guys got to look at this as a double-edged sword. Okay, you got maybe people that you love that can like get off better and live better lives, but there are a lot of people that should be in prison that live off of mayhem. I'm not saying that this is going to be some apocalyptic kind of thing, but with that said and done, don't ever think that people, especially smart, evil people, will not take advantage of something like this. Okay? There are a lot of people, especially now, that don't give a fuck. Okay? So don't be surprised. Threat death goes on a rise. People go into hiding and keep copy paste that over and over. I'm just worried about the violence. It's kind of crazy that even kidnapping, kick down your door robberies and things like that, they're just gonna let that slide. It just kind of seems that a lot of stuff that cops can't handle immediately or put under the rug or don't have the time or energy or the resources to deal with, they're just going to write a ticket off on all those typical things. And if you don't know now, you better learn to defend yourself and learn to handle things, because if this is going to go into effect and if this is going to be true, then cops, I'm not trying to bash them or nothing, but they're not going to be able to do much for you. So I hope people hear what I'm saying right now, because it's about to get crazy. Anywho, gonna do another small break, and then we will be right back. So don't go anywhere. FussAid, an innovative multimedia service designed not only for entertainment, but a service to bring your social experience to life. Our motto, constantly challenging perspectives, stems from making content that goes against the norm. From far out topics to cringing point of views, the experience from FussAid has proven to be presumptuous. Here you will find blog articles reflecting different lifestyles, diverse video content, memes and advanced imagery, and much more. As for our customer service, you can reach us through our platform or on social media. Schedule an appointment with FussAid to discuss which form of multimedia production we can assist you with, whether it's content to build your own brand or channel, or possibly a business collaboration. State who you are, where you're from, your business, and how we can help in a message. A FussAid member will get in touch. Ready for a new topic? Stop by and check out FussAid. Be sure to follow us on social media, as well as subscribe for latest updates. FussAid, a space with no media limits. Alright, so this is my closing. Right now, I've been pretty active on Twitch. So if type of person I like to watch gaming, I think I might do watch parties and things like that. But I kind of find myself to be a lot more active and things more convenient for me on Twitch these days. So if you want to go follow my channel on that, it is twitch.tv/Deviant Dave. Yeah. So check me out on that. Outside of that, make sure to follow the pages, subscribe to my channels. Let me know what I can do to be better, how I can help you. Again, just here to help you guys out. get more like-minded people together, because I can't be the only person that see these things going on in the world and say WTF, man. But in my own weird way, I'm just trying to help things out, address things, put things into perspective in life, so that maybe people cannot be so confused, so lost in this world, and so that we can move forward in a much more peaceful direction, despite the powers that be that don't want us to be at peace. Because I'm tired, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that's tired. So check out my stuff. I'm trying to get back into writing, but I've had writer's block, and it kind of blows. But it's whatever. I'll get over it. So peace and love. I hope things work out for you guys, viewers, and share my content. But most importantly, do what's on the channel.